Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Get Growing. I'm Laura from the County of Brant Public Library, and I'm happy to be with you this morning. If you are new to this series, please go ahead to our YouTube channel and check out our other Let's Get Growing videos. We have a number of topics, and today our latest topic is container gardening. So we're going to be teaching you how you can do your own container vegetable gardening, because not everybody has space for a garden in the ground, and containers are a wonderful way to still produce your own vegetables in a really simple and easy way. So to begin, I'd like you to head over to Hoopla, and I've selected a book for us today. It's called Container Vegetable Gardening by Liz Dobbs. You can go to the description box down below, and I have the book linked for you there. Go ahead and borrow it. There are so many great tips in there. I couldn't possibly cover all of them today, so we're just going to touch on a few basics if you've never done container gardening before. Now, I don't know where to begin. There's so many things. I guess first thing would be consider what you would like to grow. Today I have a little tomato plant because the rest of the garden was planted with seeds, but this was a, what would you even call it? A seedling or a pre-grown piece of produce from a garden center. So we decided to put these in pots instead of put it in the ground because we had already done the garden. So depending what you're going to be growing, whether it's from seed, which you can do, or from a little seedling like this, it's going to take varying amounts of time and you'll need different care instructions. So consider what you'd like to grow, and secondly, how much space you need. For the tomato plant, a pot like this, it's about a medium-sized pot, was enough, but depending what you're wanting to grow, you might need a slightly bigger pot, or maybe confined to a smaller pot would be okay. Next thing you need to think about is drainage. If you're going to be sticking water in here, you need to have somewhere for it to go. So the bottom of this pot, I'm not going to lift it up and show you, but the bottom of this pot has some holes in it so that when you water it, the water goes through and it drains out the bottom. You don't want it sitting in the bottom because it will potentially rot out your roots. Drainage could come in the form of holes in the bottom of your pot. It could be an inner pot that has holes in it, like what you would get at a garden center, that you put inside a more decorative pot. It could also mean taking rocks or broken up pieces of pottery, sticking them in the bottom, just as something for water to cycle through so that your soil is not sitting and getting saturated. So many different options. When you check out the book, they have so many different options depending on what your unique situation is. Now, the other thing you want to think about is where you're going to store it. So of course, every different plant will have different needs for water, sunlight, and temperature. Currently, obviously it's warm enough that you don't need a coat out here, so it's pretty good for plants, but if it gets cold again, I'll have to bring this inside. You want, depending what you're growing, a nice sunny spot for most of the day, but again, check your care instructions. This came with the tomato plant, so it just says medium amount of water, and it says it's heat tolerant, so it should do okay, and it says it's full sun, so it'll like the heat we have going on today, and the sun will be fine. If you have something that prefers shade, you might want to consider putting it on your porch, just a little bit more covered. It really depends on what you're growing. Now, when you actually get your little seedling, you will have it in a cell pack, and what you need to do is grab it by the base of the plant. There should be like a good solid core of soil. Grab it by that base, lift it out of the cell pack. One thing you can do is squeeze the plastic of the cell pack while pulling up on the plant. That helps it release more easily, and then you don't risk just pulling your plant out of the soil and breaking the roots. So gently pull it out. Next, you want to break up the roots with your hands, so you can just give it like a gentle little squeeze. You don't have to tear them all apart, but The purpose of breaking up the roots is that it will reestablish in the pot much better than if you don't. Now, I'm assuming you already have soil in your pot. So if you do, you're just going to want to dig the same size hole as what the pot of your cell pack was. So if it was that big, you're going to want to put the hole that deep in your pot. It really depends on what you're growing. And in the end, you'll have your plant will be directly in line with the soil as it was in the pot. So you don't want any roots on top. You don't want it sitting way down low so that leaves are under the ground. Just keep it pretty even. Now, I was assuming there that you already had soil in your pot, but perhaps you're looking for some recommendations. This was actually just some soil that we had around here already, so it's not potting soil, which means it's more dense, but I think it'll be okay. Typically you would use the potting soil because it's loose, it's better able to drain, and this is quite compacted, and it also will usually come with some nutrients in it. So if you get a certain type of potting soil, it will have fertilizer in it. I'm told it'll last for up to 4 weeks, and that fertilizer will likely contain nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which are all needed in varying degrees to make your plant happy. But that'll only last as long as that 4 weeks. So at that point, you'll want to consider some fertilizing options. It depends on how productive you want your plants to be and what approach you have to gardening. My approach is very easygoing. I'm not too bothered about what you're supposed to do. I like to just try things and see how they go, which is fine. You might really like to follow the rules. So if you're following the rules, perhaps get a good potting soil with some nutrients. And then for fertilizer, you can buy a number of different ones at any garden center. Just read and follow the instructions on the label. You can also make your own fertilizer, which I haven't looked too much into yet. I know coffee grounds are a good one, but perhaps that's something we can explore further in another episode, what natural fertilizers you can make. And there you go. Those are the basics. For your plants, you might need a support structure. So here I have a tomato cage. This, I didn't actually say what type of plant it is. It's a sweet 100 tomato. So it's going to be kind of like a little cherry tomato, and you can see it's really tall in that picture. So it's going to need the structure to climb up and have some support to produce all of those tomatoes, because it's going to be a lot. It'll say on the stick how much space and height it needs. So this one is going to be 243 to 365 centimeters tall. That's pretty tall. So depending what you're growing, like if it was beans, you'd need a different type of structure for it to grow up. So definitely check out the Container Vegetable Gardening book. It'll give you all the tips that you need. Or if in doubt, when you're at the garden center, just ask the staff what they recommend. And there you go, you've got a really simple, easy, relatively cost-effective project that you can do. And with any luck, if you've got your green thumb going, you should be able to produce a good amount of vegetables, or you can try fruits too. So thank you for joining today. If you'd like to check out more from the Let's Get Growing series, feel free to check out our playlist on YouTube. And if you want more content, go to www.brantlibrary.ca, and I'll be seeing you in the next video, whatever topic we choose to do. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye.